God damn, Gary. Some serious gourmet shit. What flavor is this? That's right, it's the all-hell medium roast private blend. Check out the Geek Grind Coffee Nerdrotic page for our other options like the Decadent, Feathers of Liberty, vanilla-infused flavored coffee. Or if you're looking for something darker, try the Dark Roast FNT blend of the Fellowship. You know what? Just buy all three. GeekGrindCoffee.com. Use discount code Nerdrotic. Huzzah!
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
5 minutes later.
Salon Selectives presents hair so beautiful you feel like you just stepped out of a salon.
Salon shine, Salon Selectives, Salon glow, Salon Selectives.
Introducing Salon Selectives, new from Helene Curtis. 4 salon shampoos, 4 salon conditioners. You select the combination that will give you salon beautiful hair.
Salon style.
Feel salon beautiful every day.
Salon Selectives.
The Young and the Restless. This portion sponsored by Oil of Olay.
That was so satisfying. It was so disappointing to see her get back up.
I know.
A scratch on her body. Oh, only one week.
She can't be stopped. She can't be reasoned with. Volcanoes can't take her out.
No.
She is Galadriel.
She will not stop until we are all dead. Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner. X-Ray Girl has just become a pro at this, by the way. So, you know, it just took a couple of weeks. She's a Nooner pro.
Yeah. 4 weeks and I feel amazing. I'm really good at this. Wake up, come to the Nooner. That's all you need.
Sorry, Quarter Black. I got to.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
The diversity has to be at the bottom, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
Where you didn't mean to take your spot. I'm sorry.
Hi, I'm Gary, Nerdrotic. And let's get going in the show because the Rings of Power Cope has not stopped. There are some glorious articles we can go over. We have some possible She-Hulk leaks that I'm just going to read. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I don't give a shit. So yeah, let's do it. Hi, Chris Gore. How are you?
I'm doing well, Gary. Thanks for having me every week. This is so much fun. Love it with you and Garrett, X-Ray Girl. It's a blast. And there's just so much to discuss. I'm dying to hear these She-Hulk leaks now. I'm dying to hear them.
Bro.
Well, I do believe it's from a Legion of Meme. I think one of the Legion of Meme.
Yeah, I think so.
And I'll give him full credit. I saw it. Jay Longbone retweeted it, so that's why I saw it. Please subscribe to Jay Longbone. She's great. She is fantastic. She is an international treasure. That woman is. We love her very much. But welcome, Chris. And hey, thanks for. I'm going to check out that movie Tar, dude. I'm going to check it out.
Dude, it's
pretty weird and cool. So
it's weird. It's definitely, on the art film side.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But Kate Blanchett she's a lock for best actress. I don't think anyone can even come close. And she basically plays like a Harvey Weinstein like predator who's she conducts, she's also a composer, and she happens to be a lesbian, but it's not a gay film.
Harvey Lesbianstein.
But there's nothing gratuitous in it at all.
No.
But yeah, exactly. No, but Kate Blanchett. But there's this scene in the movie. They kind of have it both ways because there's this scene in the movie where she totally rips this guy apart, right? And then of course, she has to be accountable for that later.
Yeah.
But it's really good. That scene, I just hope that scene leaks online because it's so awesome. And she basically plays an asshole, which is, it's normally a role you'd go like, oh, this is a role for a man, but she can pull it off.
Well, are you saying women can be assholes too?
Yeah. Well, worse, they can be demons.
Is that sexist? I can't tell these days. Is it's sexist or not?
Oh no. Don't ask her while she's on her period. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
That is terrible.
Harvey.
That is terrible.
I love it. No, but yeah, no, that one's good. But man, what a weird like theatrical releases. It's so bizarre that a very average horror film, Smile, is 2 weeks in a row #1 at the box office. No surprise that Bros bombed, but man, like I was talking to somebody like the movie theaters are like a channel that isn't interesting anymore. Like theatrical releases, it's the stuff that's really good is few and far between. So, I mean, when was the last time you went to the movie theater, Gary?
To rewatch No Way Home.
Oh, good.
No Way Home got re-released, and that was the last time I went to a movie theater.
Yeah.
You know, you're right. I think we jumped to the movie theaters are saved a little too soon. And let's keep in mind, the only reason some of them are still around is because you and I paid for them in a massive, massive bailout.
Yep.
To the tune of millions and hundreds of millions of dollars from the Biden administration, and only to kick the can down the road so they can basically file for bankruptcy. Some already have, some will. They're not going to sort of like Avatar might give them a bump, right? But then there's nothing after that. Zero. So we just had the lowest box office in 25 years.
Yeah.
25 years. And somebody had mentioned like what were the movies that came out the weekend 25 years prior was a couple weeks ago. And one of them was like LA Confidential. I'm like, holy shit, has it been that long? That's such a great movie. Love that movie. But yeah, you know, we don't get movies like LA Confidential anymore. We just don't. Everything's being tuned to streaming services, which I mean is a bubble that has already burst. That bubble's already burst. We're just seeing what happens.
Well, for the last 10 years, all of the movies have been turned into massive, expensive blockbuster superhero movies.
Yep.
So we don't get those middle of the road, like LA Confidential, kind of like a character work stories. We don't get those anymore.
Yep.
You know,
Exactly.
and then we get something like Top Gun has nothing to do. I'm sure it's still big budget, but it's not a superhero movie big budget. You know, it's just a character story about him going through, you know, relationships with the other characters in the movie. It's not a big, what the lightning in the sky, a big beam in the sky destroying the earth. It's not that. It's just working through stuff and going through one mission. And people loved it and they want to see it again and again and again. So hopefully we can go back to that, but I don't think it's going to save theaters. Like I've said this before, I worked in a movie theater for 10 years. I worked in corporate. I was a manager for a long time. I watched as the summer got lighter and lighter and lighter. Less people went to the theater. It's just kind of the natural progression of it. Like there was more people online, more people watching YouTube, more people watching streaming services, and it just kind of slowly dwindled the audience. So it was a natural thing that was happening already. We've just been escalating it with the recent events, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. So they're gonna have to do something big to bring people back, but I just don't think it's gonna happen.
I agree. And did you see that the Marvel shuffle perhaps contributed to the dip in stock? Like the Disney stock is lower than at its lowest point in 2020 when the pandemic first hit, or the lockdown or whatever. When that hit, it's lower than that. Like it's just, and they announced ticket price increases for the parks. So, which are already
expensive.
And we are not getting we don't get a ton of blowback here, right? Let's be real. But on Twitter, we're not getting the normal blowback for our Marvel is dying video, which I fully expected. But we just aren't.
They don't have the money to buy all the bots. You know, spots are expensive.
Guess not. But it's dying. It's clearly dying. And the fact that like an announcement, they had to make an announcement for Deadpool 3 that's going to come out in 2 years. That's already been delayed, by the way. In that article, spoilers, they've already delayed the announcement. Remember, in the actual video, it says September of 2024. It's now November of 2024, and it will be May of 2025 when all is said and done, if everything goes to plan. I think one movie was kicked to 2026. We'll get to it. We'll go to and Fantastic Four. Chris, I think it's been delayed Fantastic Four times already.
It has. It's been announced a date for it so many times. I just forget it. I mean, you know, they can't get a cast for that. They can't. God, it's just so ridiculous. But yeah, like your Marvel video, God, I've watched it twice.
Oh, thanks, man.
It's so good that opening from Rogan with Robert Downey Jr. It just reminds you, like, hey, you know, Marvel was good at one time. It had its high, it had its lows, but it had its highs, and it was something to look forward to. Now it's just the brand is not special. I think the thing that killed it was not just wokeness, but the Disney Plus Marvel shows they're all awful. There's not one you can point to that's like, that was a really good. No, there isn't one. There are maybe episodes here and there. I thought WandaVision kicked off in an interesting way and then just went down the toilet real quick. But
When Werewolf by Night's the best thing that they have produced outside of Spider-Man No Way Home, and it's like really average. It's like, I agree with your assessment, Chris. Like, I watched it, it was fine. I'm going to forget about it in 24 hours.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing special about it.
And I love the comic book. I have every issue. I've read the issues. I love the Man Thing. I own many giant-sized Man Things. I do. Ryan, for 100 euros. Woo! Even done it with the introductions here. Hail, House of the Dragon, episode 8 drove me to tears 3 separate times. Not an easy task for me. How can Rings of Power writers not look at themselves in the mirror and say to themselves, I suck at my job? Well, I think Daddy Bezos made them do that probably 3 or 4 times before they went on their almost apology tour. I mean, still blaming the fans, but then buried in blaming the fans, they went, well, there might have been some pacing issues with our show. Imagine saying that before the first season of your $1 billion show was done. Imagine saying that in public, in the Hollywood Reporter. That is the biggest admission of failure I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's how you know it's really bad, really, really bad that they came out and said that. Man,
it
feels great, you know. It feels great to finally have them say what we've all been saying this whole time. But you know, we've been called sexist, racist assholes, and they get paid for it. So,
thank you, Ryan. They'll be, you know what, when the reality will ultimately hit them. Well, it's already hit them. They have all the data that we don't. And again, that 100 million people have watched their show is such bullshit. Now, do they have 100 million clicks? I imagine so. How many clicks? How many people watched it for more than 6 minutes? I'd say half that. If you just go off of YouTube metrics, it's usually 15% of the people who watch everything all the way through of anything. It's 15%. It might creep up to 20 or 30 if you're like Mr. Beast or somebody massively huge, but for the most part, it's 15-20%. So I don't think it's any different. And I think it's much worse, to be honest with you, for a show that's not a 10-minute video. That's an hour and 10-minute boring sludge fest. So we'll find out. They suck at their jobs, though. They really suck at their jobs. I can't believe they kept them. It's really kind of weird. Hi, Quarter Black. How the kids?
Hey, they're doing good. You know, just arguing with each other as always. But it's still great. That's good. He's crawling around. He's starting to spin. You know, it's those typical like, oh, look at my kid. He can do a spin. But nobody cares. But it's like, to me, I'm like, whoa, he's advancing. He's leveling up. He can spin now.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime soon, he'll be running around here and annoying everybody else.
Well, once they can hold their head up instead of being a little
blobby
little thing that can't hold its head up, you know. Yeah.
It's pretty great though.
You're on like your 17th one, so it's not even.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah.
But man, hey, one more episode, and then we get to wait 2 years.
Probably longer.
Probably longer, yeah.
So yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. One more episode of She-Hulk, one more episode of Rings of Power. And
can't wait.
We have 2 more of House of the Dragon. Is that right?
Yep.
Oh, that's so great. Last Sunday's episode was so good. It was just, and I get the sense of Viserys is the only one that's gonna like have a peaceful death. I haven't read the book yet, but it's kind of a peaceful, though sad, with dying with a tear rolling down his cheek. I mean, it's just, God, it was so good.
That was a great episode. It was the best episode of television I've seen all year. And the show is like really good. It's undeniably good, objectively good. And yeah, I never thought I'd be saying that, dude.
I know, I saw your tweet about it. And you're right. It's just, God, and some of the best moments in this show, there's no dialogue, but there's so much happening, right? Like, how is it the Rings of Power just like, it just feels so amateurish in comparison. And it's so good that we have House of the Dragon running at the same time as Rings of Power, so you can just compare and contrast. And there's just, it's amazing how different,
what happens in one scene between 2 characters that don't speak than all of the 7 episodes so far in Rings of Power. It's actually kind of impressive how little has happened in Rings of Power. It's a feat.
Yeah,
it really is, to the point where they're like, next season more is going to happen, like twice as much, orders of magnitude. When's next season? 2034.
Oh. I like that line too in the article where it's like, this is all held under wraps, nobody gets this information, but there's 2 giant battles, guys. There's 2 giant battles.
2 battles this time.
Please come watch our show. So pathetic.
It really is. It really is. But don't worry, more academics are here to call us racist.
Great.
Can't wait to read that one to you. It's going to be fun. Hello, Exure Agu.
Hello. I'm excited to not talk about Rings of Power in a week.
Oh, it'll be the aftermath for sure.
Yeah.
We're still gonna be talking about
It'll be at least a week aftermath. At least a week on my channel.
In better news, I've watched a couple minutes of Garrett and Az's Phasmophobia.
Oh my
God. Are a hot mess.
Okay. For one,
You are
Az
such a mess.
is the biggest pussy ever. He is. Oh! I mean, like his war cries. I love him, but geez, I'm like, I'm watching.
Scary,
I was
man.
watching a little bit. Yeah, you guys were like, the ghost is in the room. He's like, get him, kill him, please, hide. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, I need to watch more, but it's a great choice of a game, boys. Is all I have to say.
I was cracked. That is so memeable. I mean, there is just gold in those. And just it's 20 minutes I watched, you could mine that stuff for about a year. I'm just saying.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Well, this Sunday we're gonna do it again.
Again. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you're not going to be there.
No.
Nope.
I has a wedding to go to, so.
Oh my God. Is it yours?
No, I'm already married. Unless I go to Utah, I suppose.
Go to Utah? You get married in America? Doesn't really count if it's in Canada. That's what I heard.
Don't tell that to my husband or my pretend husband, I guess at this point.
Your Canadian husband.
My Canadian husband. Okay.
He wants to come on the House of the Dragon stream. We'll probably bring him on the last one. Tell him I saw his message.
Okay. The last
We're going to have like 9,000 people on.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Divorce JK. That's what they said. Well, welcome. So yeah, thanks again, Ryan, for the €100. That was pretty awesome. Let me pull up well, let's do the She-Hulk spoilers first. You want that's fun.
Oh yeah.
Then we'll Then we'll get to the academic calling you racist, calling us racist.
Yeah, we'll start off fun.
It's a
and
day
then go back to typical.
that ends in Y. So where did I put it? It was in the main, right? It was in the main. Yeah. Oh, and it's Oculus. Oculus. That's and of course they are a legion of beamers.
Yes.
I'm gonna use their proper pronouns because they would totally. Why does it keep doing that? Oh, because I'm retarded. Hang on. Did you know that?
Makes sense.
Sure, I'm not showing the messages. Here we go. Boy, I know you're all like worried about the sheet. These could be total bullshit too. Just so you know, we're just trying to fill time here. No,
it could be fun.
So thanks to Jay Longbone for retweeting this, and of course, this is the great Oculus, the MCU exposer, Legion of Memers. Hail,
yeah,
brother. Potential and likely final episode description for She-Hulk. And my God, I need to go to the hospital for a brain tumor removal. Thread incoming. Because it gave you brain AIDS. That's what it gave you. Gave you creative brain AIDS. All right. So last chance to turn around. There are some big reveals. This comes from the same source as some other source. I have no idea. It could be
That's another source.
It could be complete bullshit. We'll find out in a few short hours. But the episode opens up with an homage to the opening titles of the 1977 series, The Incredible Hulk. This includes scene-by-scene recreations, as well as some original footage and voiceover. Jennifer delivers the lines, "Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry." I don't like you when you're not angry. I just don't like you. There's someone in practical makeup, assuming it's the male bodybuilder. Maybe it's the one that Josiah did a video on. That there was a bodybuilder builder saying he was She-Hulk. Over a split screen of Jennifer, practical She-Hulk. The opening title abruptly ends as Jennifer wakes up, startled in damage control, as if their opening was a dream. In a room like the one Abomination was in, as Mallory, Nikki, and Pug enter to visit her. She asks for Bruce, and Pug says he's been trying to get a hold of him. Jennifer talks about prosecuting the people who attacked her because of all the witnesses, but Mallory tells her all the witnesses saw was an out-of-control Hulk. Mallory says they've offered Jen a plea deal. They will drop the charges related to the incident, but she has to wear a device to prevent her from turning her into She-Hulk. Jen somberly exits DODC, and her parents pick her up. Next, we get a bit montage of what's happening to Jen now that she's out. We see she's lost her job and is cleaning out her desk at work with Nikki. Nikki admits she's going to continue working with Mallory as they pay her well. "Don't worry about me, guys," Jen says. "We always have your back, Jen," Pug says. Next, we jump to Jen at home, flipping through news channels, talking about her Hulk incident and her plea deal. Peering out her window, her apartment is surrounded by reporters asking for comment. Next, Jen is eating dinner and her parents, and they offer to let her move back in the house. She can't because she can't find a new job again. Next, we see another jump as Jen is walking through her empty apartment, and as she can't find work, she walks out. Does it sound compelling to you guys? Are you
That's the finale of the show?
Oh, it gets better. Wait, this thing goes on.
Oh, there's more?
No, there's more.
What?
Okay. Whoa.
This thing goes on. Okay. This is part 2.
Ruin it all. Ruin it all.
Ruin it.
We're gonna ruin it all.
Ruined.
I'm gonna have to blow this up because I'm blind. All right. Can you see that? Can everybody see that?
Get bigger.
Yeah.
Man. Okay. Then she's trying to enter her parents' house, but the reporters followed her. Oh, I thought there was going to be pronouns here. Her/R accosting her there. Her dad sprays them with the hose, and as he's watering the lawn, Jen is carrying a box of her stuff into her childhood room, and she sits. We see a Legally Blonde and Aaron Brockovich poster.
Oh my God.
A UCLA Bruins pennant, and a Midsummer's Night Dreams play poster. Next, at night, Nikki is chatting with Jen's mom about food and seeing baby pictures while she and Jen stand in front. Oh my God, I'm bored reading this.
It's so on the nose, the Legally Blonde thing.
Yeah, they're investigating the. I mean, I haven't seen Legally Blonde in a while. I don't mind. The movie's fine. It's one of my wife's favorites, but
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
You've never seen that movie? Oh well.
I loved it, of course.
Not a bad movie. It's not, as far as like stupid comedies go, but investigating who the Hulk King is and who did this to her. Now, who do you guys think the guy running the whole like 4chan site is? The tech bro? Is it possibly the tech bro? Could it possibly be the tech bro?
Yeah, it's got to be the tech bro.
Got to be the tech bro
wearing a Doomcock mask.
Oh.
What?
It's got to be the tech bro.
They took it from that, and they took it from Anonymous too. So
yeah,
like they meld them together.
Mr. Robot. Never seen?
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
I never saw Mr. Robot.
Started out good and had a really unsatisfying ending, man. Really unsatisfying ending. It was, yeah. If they went more sci-fi with it, it probably would have been more fun. But they played with the unreliable narrator in really fun ways. But the thing is, though, I don't know. They made it way too drama-y. I was hoping they'd go more sci-fi. So where was I? Nikki, Dennis, Nikki, I don't care. All right, so we're going to Nikki discuss finding and destroying them while mom gives her food and cookies to take home, as well as a video from Jen in college twerking in her dorm room with her friends. Mom asks when all this was going out in the living room. Nikki and mom's banter is fun. Nikki's opens a tent to a video of Dennis trashing Jen in an interview, calling her psycho way before she got those superpowers. Jen goes to her room and lays in her bed and then starts talking to us. Great. She-Hulk, never again, which I know is what I said I wanted, but it doesn't feel right. This isn't even a reluctant hero story. I'm just getting screwed over. So it's the victim complaining she's getting screwed over, which is
just whining.
This
is a superhero. This is a superhero.
This is a hero overcoming, the refusing the call part. Right. This is like, I deserve the call even though I don't want it. See, it's the hero's journey, not the hero's journey. Is this what you guys want? She asks us directly. The 70s style voiceover from the beginning starts again. And Jen says, no, we're not doing a narrator. We're not going off the rails. This show has gone off the rails. It has never been on the rails. This is quintessential, the pure definition of MCU. I couldn't have written it better myself as MCU. I need to thank Jessica Gao. I do. I think in my video, I will thank Jessica Gao.
She needs to thank you. She took notes.
I'm surprised they didn't like somebody's password isn't MCU. It's fine. I thought about that. No. But like, yeah, dude, it's I will thank her though. I feel very vindicated after this show. And each Marvel project, to be honest with you. We should feel vindicated because we've all seen something wrong. We talked about it yesterday on the Real BBC. I don't know if you saw Chris Gore.
I didn't get to watch
it. Black.
Yeah.
We went over the CD Projekt Red ESG video.
Oh, I saw. First of all, I saw that video. Here's my take on that video. Is that's something they're making for the outside world? How they conduct themselves internally as a company.
It's a hostage video.
It's a hostage video. It's like, hey, yeah, we're pretty well. Have you played that game? Like,
you could be a girl and have a penis. See, hey.
The whole point, we broke it down as we were talking about it, but the whole point of it though is like they really laid out like what Hollywood has been doing over the last 5 years. So that little thing that was bugging you back in 2017, maybe 16, maybe 15, but you're like, something's different. Like, I'm used to the normal left Hollywood. I'm used to that, but something is different. That's that thing that was different. They laid it out perfectly and you can apply that to Star Wars, Doctor Who, Star Trek, every fucking thing we're talking about. You can apply that video. That is what we call in the business a smoking gun.
Yep.
It's a smoking gun. And yeah, imagine Amazon coming out and making a video. Oh, wait, they have an entire website page dedicated. Imagine Disney making a video. Oh, wait, they have an entire website page dedicated to it. So
it baffles me whenever people try to deny this is a reality. It's like, we're not making this up. It's not a conspiracy theory. They say they're doing it. It's blatant. They're not hiding it. They're saying they're doing this. We're just saying they're doing it.
When have we ever advocated for our politics to be in a story?
Never.
Yeah.
Never. I've never argued any of my personal politics should be in a story. So that's why, our detractors, that's why they constantly just talk about us, but they can never really talk about what they like about the thing we're not liking. Like, do a counter argument, make a long form, make a 6-hour video breaking down why you love Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness and see how it does. Go ahead, passionately go through it like Mahler did, and show all the great parts. Give a counter argument. I'm sure Mahler would appreciate that. Like, he would love to have somebody to spar with, but they can't do it.
No, their only argument is you're a man baby in a basement.
Yep.
We're all out here enjoying this show. Like, no, that's not an argument for why the show is good. I've never heard anybody, like you just said, I've never heard them ever say a reason why these shows are good. Characters, writing.
Yeah. Like if
nothing. You've got nothing.
No. I mean, there's like, it's not normal bad is what we're saying. Like, I like a ton of shit that people will think is stupid. Unapologetically. I like the Ghost Rider movies. I know they're shit, but I like them. I watch them because I love Ghost Rider. And I thought the second one was much better. So
dude, the CGI on the fire. Oh, so good.
Killer, dude. I love it. It's Nicolas Cage at his like most Nicolas Cage-ness.
Most insane. Yeah, it's so good.
But like there's just, this is like not even enjoyable. Like even the bad like B movies, you can find enjoyment in them, in the craft of like them trying to work things out with like no money. I appreciate that, but
there's heart in that. This is just mediocre fluff.
This is expensive shit. Yeah. So
lazy.
It's lazy and it's disrespectful. I mean, you could tell like Jessica Gao. Well, we got her. I mean, Perry found a clip in my video of her saying, "Oh, I never read these comics and they were just too serious." Wow. Fuck off. All right, back to this shit. Sorry. I was trying to get away from this, but I can't. The 70s style voiceover from the beginning starts again, and Jen says, "No, we're not doing the narrator. We're not going off the rails, even though the show's got off rails already." She texts Bruce, and it won't deliver. He's AWOL. She texts Emil. Emil would understand, but also doesn't deliver. Well, he said, "Come anytime. This is a time." She packs up and leaves. "I'm not running from my problems. It's a mental health break." So she goes to Emil Blonsky. She goes to the Abomination. I fucking hate this show. I hate where Marvel is. I hate that Jennifer Walters is going to the Abomination for help instead of, I don't know, fighting him because he's a villain. Fuck this show. Daredevil, the Walk of Shame. Daredevil, the Walk of Shame.
Ugh.
I'm definitely talking about that in the video. Don't worry.
It's like it's not like they are targeting characters that we all love and demasculating them or destroying them, including She-Hulk, character we love, destroying this character. Nothing like the character we all loved. It's targeted.
Yep. Next, we see Nikki at her office at night uploading the college twerking video to the intelligence site. She's typing negative stuff on the site, and it gets a DM from Hulk King inviting her to an anti-She-Hulk event. An anti-She-Hulk event. That's what I want to call our meetup. I want to change the name of our meetup in Universal. I want to name it an anti-She-Hulk event. Will somebody let Jeremy know?
You wanna write that down?
Write that down, please. She tells Pug she needs her favor now. We see Jen pull up at night to Emil's retreat center, greeted by a reformed wrecker who had fought her back near the start of the season. Yeah, so long ago. By the way, that start of the season is it's like 3 hours of television, right? So we got 23-minute episodes on average without all the credits and everything. So 20, 40, 60, 20, 40, 60. So that's two and a half hours. We've gotten 2.5 hours of content out of 7 episodes. Roughly. I just need a place to stay for a couple days. She's reading Emil's book in her room. This book sucks. Pug and Nikki pull up to the gate, and Nikki gives them an earbud so they can go inside and get as much intel as possible. Nikki will be listening in. Pug is reluctant, but gets in ahead of the game. He enters the event as Nikki stays on the phone, blah, blah, blah. Guys are saying essentially what the trolls say online. Why does there need to be a She-Hulk when there's a He-Hulk? And Lady Thor? Oh, no. Okay, she just sucks. They mention female Thor.
Dude, they are watching our Hey, Marvel writers, right now. What's up? How you doing?
Oh,
glad you're here.
Oh my God. If that's true, holy shit.
Man.
You should get a writing credit. I really think it's just like
at this point.
It's so ridiculous that they're just influenced by what they're reading online. So they're obsessed with social media, and like this is influencing the storytelling of this show. It's stupid. It's like that terrible Velma thing that like kicks off with like that trailer. Oh my God. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers did a really good video where he God, I forget the guy's name. Moist Critical, is that his name? Sort of was just getting like red pilled in real time as he just talks about how bad this is, and then people in the chat start attacking him. And Jeremy's video on it is great.
That's his audience. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he built that audience.
And I have nothing against Moist. I've seen him a couple times. But yeah, that's what happened to the Angry Joe. Starts turning on something, and his audience starts turning. Like I can't imagine what if I started like coming back at you because I got a blue check mark. Like with the Rings of Power is actually pretty good, guys. Yeah, then my audience would our audience would turn on me, deservedly so. Deservedly so. Just give me the pitchfork right in between the eyes if that ever happens.
Right in the dome.
Right in the dome. I deserve it. But yeah. So that was interesting to see him turn. We're seeing a lot of people turn, Chris. Come on.
Yeah.
People are sensing the change and they're like, ooh, maybe I went a little too hard on that side. You're going to see a lot more over the next year because like, this is the year. This is the year, folks. This is it. It's not all because they got woke, but this is the Hollywood got woke and now they're going broke. Like this, it's starting to happen, but there's a lot of factors. They could have been fine. They would have been absolutely fine if they had not gone that woke. If they had only gone half woke, they'd be fine right now. They'd be fine. They're going to blame COVID. They're going to blame all this other shit, but this was happening before COVID. You and I know it. Yep. You and I know it. As a matter of fact, COVID delayed the process. This process should have happened a couple years ago. But COVID delayed it and it reset everything. So Dark Fate failed. Like they were having failure after failure after failure. Joker comes out, a couple of woke things in it, like really light, but honestly, like just a fucking normal movie. Massive hit, cost $50 million. Then COVID hits. And it changes everything. Of course, the Rise of Skywalker came out right after that and killed Star Wars. By the way, how's Star Wars doing? Star Wars doing okay right now? Star Wars doing okay.
We get a wellness check on Star Wars.
Yeah.
Andor's pretty boring. You checked out right in time, Gary. You watched 2.5 episodes, and that was just the right amount. So yeah, no, it's not going anywhere. I mean, what, we're 6 episodes in and nothing happens. It's ridiculous. And they spent like 3 episodes planning the heist. Just do the heist. Jesus. It's bad.
So,
no one's talking about
I think it's incompetence, man, at this point. It's incompetence. They can't find people with competence and talent because I think all those people know that Disney's a bad place to go. They know that this is a bad place to go because if you have talent, they're just going to beat it out of you and make you do whatever they want you to do. So the people with actual talent just aren't going to those projects anymore.
And to show how bad Disney, by the way, we're just to finish that point, we're in a post-apathy Star Wars. So there's always going to be Star Wars fan because the original trilogy is one of the greatest things ever in entertainment. And you can't like deny that. George Lucas was a genius for a long, long time. Knew what the hell he was doing with this brand. I mean, he could have done some things better, in my opinion, but like he's not going to have an equal in Hollywood ever. Okay. And Disney flushed it down the toilet over the course of a decade now, and they'll never, and I mean ever, reach the heights of The Force Awakens ever again. Not even get close. Never. No matter what they fucking do, they can erase everything. Won't fucking matter. And we're Star Trek done. They've wrung. I mean, they talk about blood out of a turnip. They just wrung everything they could out of that. Doctor Who done. It's done. We're in post apathy now. So it's going to be like just diminishing returns. There's going to be the hardcores hanging on, but that all too valuable normie doesn't give a fuck anymore. Normies are on the Top Gun terminal list, probably Avatar because James Cameron is like normie nip. Not going to deny that. I'm not going to bet against that dude ever. But I'll probably hate it, but it'll probably do well. Because I hated Avatar. I thought it was absolute shit.
Loathe that movie, and everybody loved it.
Yep,
everybody loved it. I was like, I do not get this movie.
That's the first time I thought I was taking credit. I'm like, maybe it's just over for me.
Yeah, am I crazy? Do I not? I don't have the finger on the pulse, I guess.
That finger's off the pulse now. Then The Force Awakens happened. I'm like, ooh, fingers really off the pulse. But then you guys pulled me back in. Thank God. So things are so Marvel wasn't dead yet. It wasn't. Even with a bad phase, it wasn't dead yet. Making the fans the villains of She-Hulk. And if this is true, and I think it is. I mean, I think it all but confirms that you and I are the villains of She-Hulk. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Now there might be somebody orchestrating the 4chan boys, but we know who they're talking about. We know who they're talking about. Yeah. It's fucking unbelievable. I could like this might be I was all gearing up for Rings of Power finale. Like this is like our crescendo on the channel. But I'm like, nope, this might be it. I'm not sure. I might have a double crescendo.
Yeah, 2 at once, man. You got the Lord of the Rings side, and now you have the MCU side.
Oh my goodness,
that's amazing.
Everybody at Nerdrotic is gonna get a couple days off. Couple days. Don't get too crazy.
Just two. Okay.
We got the meetup coming up.
So. Yeah, we do.
I'm actually starting to look forward to that. I haven't even.
Dude, I'm stoked.
But I'm like, oh, I can't wait to go to Universal. I want to go check out the Harry Potter shit.
Oh, dude, I've never been.
Dude, I'm so excited. The Harry Potter land, Wizarding World of Harry Potter is what it's called, at Universal in Florida is one of the greatest immersive theme park experiences I've ever had. And when they announced we're doing Star Wars Land, I'm thinking, oh man, they're just going to copy that and do it.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't. I mean, this Wizarding World experience is so incredible. You got to take the train, do all the rides, walk around. It's just everything from the food to the vendors they're like in character, but not in too much of an annoying way, right? Like just enough to like sell it, but it's just awesome. Like to me, it's the best thing. And the fact that J.K. Rowling was so specific and so controlling about it is why it's so good. And that's why Star Wars has fallen. There was a guy who was very controlling about every aspect of it. His name was George Lucas. Now he's not involved. It's just some corporate shell of what it was.
Generic sci-fi.
Just imagine if they had done half as good as what Wizarding World is. Like, that Galaxy's Edge thing is awful. It's terrible. It's a shopping mall. It doesn't feel like you're in any other worldly thing. It's bad. It's so
the
bad.
one at Disneyland is terrible. I will not set foot in a Disney World. Never have, never will.
Yeah.
But the one at Disneyland is fucking terrible. We were there like with its first few weeks, 2019, again before me and Jeremy. Right? Yeah. So Jeremy had a hookup, and we did a meetup at Comic-Con. We're like, fuck it, let's not go to con for a day, and let's go to Disneyland. So 15 of us got in for free. Some dude hooked us up. Thanks, dude.
Wow.
And we fucking walked around and live streamed in there and did the Millennium Falcon ride, and I almost got in a fucking fight with one of the guys who worked there because I was kind of confused. Yeah, I was kind of confused. So I was going towards the wrong line, and the dude like pushes me in the back of the fucking shoulder, like that. And I'm like, oh motherfucker, what? So I was like, you don't do that to a guy who's been in prison. You just don't. He's lucky I didn't fucking just level him right there. I was close. Jeremy saw it. I was fucking mad. I was so hot. Woo! But I chilled, and I didn't like assault the youngster. Send him to the hospital. I was fucking close though, man. Because there's still some stuff left over, and like surprising me and pushing me in the back, like when I'm at a fucking Disneyland ride. I'm like, what the? I'm like ready to just turn around and go.
It's like actual PTSD. A lot of these people throw the word PTSD around like it's candy, but like that's actual PTSD.
Yeah. You do that stuff, there's a very good chance you're gonna get hit. And it's just a reaction. I'm glad I didn't hit him though. I'm glad because he was young, but I almost did. I almost got killed. But yeah, we went the ride, and the ride was fine, but like the graphics were fucked up. There was a big line in the graphics in the middle, and like it was cool, it was fine, but it was like, wow, this is shit. Like we walked out of there, like for one, they have the radar dish from like the fucking Force Awakens on it. That, like bugged the shit out of me first. I was like, oh no. And then there was nothing. There's some blue milk and nobody walking around. They did some Kylo Ren show that I think they ended already, and it was shit. It was total shit. The most exciting thing I saw was a swarm of bees, and I got those on my live stream. I saw a swarm of bees, and I tried to walk through it, and I didn't. Well, it would have been interesting on the live stream, but they were gone by the time I tried to walk through. Too bad. Yeah, because normally they don't sting you.
Cool and fine is not what you're going for whenever you're opening a theme park for Star Wars.
No.
That's what baffles me again, is like, how do you mess that up? How do you mess it up? It seems like there would be so many ideas, so many possibilities of making a theme park of Star Wars good, and they just failed on so many levels. It's crazy.
Yeah. And like the merch sucked. Stupid stuffed animals from Force Awakens, and I think maybe Solo.
They really thought their Disney Star Wars brand was going to hold. That's what they focused the whole thing on, because it's not Tatooine; it's some generic other Middle Eastern planet.
Well, that's their fundamental understanding.
Like, make it Tatooine. If you're going to make it like a spaceport, make it that.
So, quick analogy, and we'll get to the rest of this. Imagine. All right, so I'm at my comic shop, and when I ordered comic books, I largely ordered from a book called Previews, right? But it's all a hype book. I could do Baker Taylor or whatever, but I mostly ordered through Previews. I know it's different now, but this is the way it was when I sold comic books. When I ordered comic books, I factored in multiple elements, and what Hollywood essentially is doing is providing and reading their own Previews magazine without taking any input from the fans. Like, that would be insane. If I had just read Previews and ordered comics based on what Previews told me, I would be out of business in 6 months because everything was hyped up. I took everything they said at face value. No, I would take that, and then somebody would come in and go, that story sounds fucking lame. And then if I heard it from more than 5 people, that really tempered how I ordered things, because I listened to the customers. Plus I read all the shit too. So I know what's going on. And Yeah, fandom like they didn't realize fandom took like work.
Yeah.
It takes actual work. They just thought, well, this is this built-in thing. It's a sure thing. Fandom is no, we're fickle. You got to take us out to dinner at least once. Okay. We're not going to fuck you on the first date. We're just not.
Yeah. They should have known too with Star Wars, especially. Yeah. Like it just happened, 10 years prior? Not even 10 years. Whenever they purchased it.
Well, there might be some.
They should have known.
They
should have known.
Fuck on the first date, but
oh yeah, some.
Not the discerning fan. Okay, with self-respect. Next, we see Nikki at the office. I read that part. Pug is reluctant. The guys are saying, "Oh yeah, okay." This is my favorite part right here. They talk. So Pug is in the anti-She-Hulk event. He tries to blend in and join the misogynist conversations. I want to have a misogynist conversation section at our anti-She-Hulk event. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, make this happen, okay?
It's like an anti-safe space.
I want it. I want an anti-safe space. Todd shows up. Todd is the tech bro, by the way. Todd recognizes Pug. Of course you're one of us. Welcome, bro. Todd talks up Pug as Nikki's reception gets worse. Todd talks shit on She-Hulk, saying she isn't strong as a Hulk. She wouldn't have her powers without him and doesn't deserve her powers. Pug is blending in well with the Nikki in the ear. Todd admits to being Hulk King and creating intelligentsia. Nikki's reception cuts and Pug is on his own. Todd then goes up on stage talking about hacking Jen's phone and how the actions are just getting started. He's getting the crowd amped. Jen talks to Wrecker in the kitchen looking for Emil, and this is back at Emil's house, by the way. And Wrecker says he's down at the lodge at some private event. Todd then introduces a special guest speaker. It's Emil in his abomination form. The crowd cheers for him as Emil speaks as a life coach, talks about seizing your personal goals. So Emil is at the anti-She-Hulk event, right? That's what I'm getting out of this. Okay. So hang on. Boop, ba-doop. We're going to one more. There's part 3. Good God, this is long. I'll try to get this fast. Okay. Jen is walking the grounds looking for the lodge. Emil is talking how Todd said everyone here is unsatisfied with their place in the world and says, do not ask permission. So he probably came in not knowing what the event is. That's what I'm guessing. So Emil is there just to show up and be a life, like go out, get it, or some other bullshit without knowing it's like an anti-She-Hulk event. Jen enters the lodge. It's intelligentsia event. Jennifer. Emil changes back into his human form. Jennifer asks Todd, is he doing here? Questions Emil, turning into abomination against his parole. He says it's just doing it to speak engagements for private events. Nothing bad. He's upset at him. Nikki breaks in the door. Jen turns to her and Pug. What are you doing here? Nikki says they all need to get out of here as Pug tells Jen that Todd is Hulk King. Jen confronts him in front of the crowd as Todd admits to hiring Josh to seduce her, make a sex tape her on phone, and get some of her blood. His team also synthesized her blood so he could get her powers. He takes off his jacket saying he didn't get handed superpowers, that he earned them, as one of his minions hands him a syringe of green stuff. He injects himself, and Jen asks, this is not going to work, right? And turns to us in disbelief and asks, we're not actually doing this. Todd turns into a Green Hulk. They can't possibly be where the season is going, Jen asks us, by the way, breaking the fourth wall. Todd completes his transformation, and Titania breaks through the wall as well. Surprise, losers. Come on, Titania too. This isn't messy enough, Jen says to the screen, but it seems she's no longer talking to us and pleading with the writers and producers. Todd goes to attack Jen as Abomination, picks up her and saves her. The guys at her event start attacking Emil to get to her as Bruce drops from the ceiling and cries, let go of my cousin, asshole. And it's not what you think. So it's like a big melee, but it's not really happening. The screen suddenly cuts to Disney Plus app on the Marvel tab. Hey, what do you think you're doing? This menu is not going to stop me, Jen says. She punches out the She-Hulk icon from behind, looking around at what's below her, and she finds a Marvel assembled episode. Looks like Shang-Chi, and swings down and kicks it in. This is the scene where she lands on her feet into the studio, and in her She-Hulk uniform, she looks around and crosses the Disney studio looking for someone. She finds She-Hulk Productions office and sneaks in. We cut to the writers. In the writers' room, we're talking about making the entire season 2 an extended dream sequence. She-Hulk enters. Everyone falls silent. What the hell's going on, guys? What kind of stupid finale is this? We thought it would be really cool if we kind of did an unexpected twist. Jen criticizes the whole idea as being from every other superhero story. Quite frankly, it would have been a better idea, to be honest.
I was going to say they cut away right whenever it actually got interesting.
Yep. There are certain things that are supposed to happen in a superhero story. A writer says to Jen, Jen is pissed and leans in. Why don't we just do things our own way? Well, you have been, and it hasn't been working.
You've been trying that.
This is the story that Kevin wants, they say. Okay, I want to talk to Kevin. They all laugh at once. No one talks to Kevin. Then they talk about how they'd die for Kevin, and she calls them creepy, and she leaves and goes for a walk. By the way, Kevin is going to be a robot. It's called Kevin. So Kevin's self-insert is a robot. She enters Kevin's office. They ask her to sign an NDA. They press a panic button and security comes out. She pushes them out. Security comes in, blah, blah, blah. Big energy by Leto. She breaks into Kevin's secure area. She enters a circular room full of monitors playing of various Marvel projects. Thor Ragnarok, Doctor Strange 2, Age of Ultron. Says, whoa, what is this? She says. A red and white robot drops from the ceiling. They zoom in and it's labeled Kevin. Hello, Jennifer. It says in robotic verse, Kevin. It stands for Knowledge Enhanced Visual Interconnectivity Nexus. Were you expecting a man? She finds out it's the one making all the decisions, and it says it will answer her questions, but first she needs to change back into Jennifer. Why? Because you are too expensive. Are they trying to make fun of the fact that they overworked their VFX team? Are they clowning
that might not be a good
themselves? Look. Oh, wait. He asks her to wait till the camera pans away because the VX team has moved on to another project. They actually did.
Oh.
Wow.
They must have developed this before all of the VFX stuff
that is
came
bad
out.
taste. I hope
that is really.
Let's see if that makes the cut. He asks her to wait till. Well, this whole thing's in bad taste. The camera pans away from the VFX team. Blah blah blah. God, this is long. Can we not? I'm going to skip a bunch of shit. She's like pleading with Kevin basically not to do a lot of the finale. Can we not do Todd gets Hulk powers? The powers aren't the villain. He is. Kevin erases the blood plot. Save it for the movie, she says. It asks about Abomination and says, after all that, I just want him to hold himself accountable. So yeah, she's talking him out of changing the ending. So whatever. Oh, and they're going to bring Matt Murdock back or probably hook them up. Instead of Hulk coming in, it's like Matt Murdock instead. And sometimes Matt Murdock, she looks at Kevin and tells her to get back into the show and throws, Oh, she asked about the X-Men. They say no. So it's just a back and forth of like, can we get Daredevil back in? A woman has needs. That is right. That's where it is. Oh, I want Daredevil because a woman has needs. So she wants to fuck Daredevil again. Whatever. We cut back to Emil's property, now daytime. Everyone is outside and police are already there. She-Hulk comes out from around the corner to confront Todd, who is being arrested. So they basically cut out the finale with this fourth wall breaking and then clowned the video effects team, which they were clearly trying to save money by doing this whole, like, we're going to break the fourth wall as the action scene starts. Hilarious. Suddenly, oh my God, guys, we're all about to witness a murder. Todd cowers, tells She-Hulk, just do it. And she says, I'll see you in court, babe. Suddenly, Daredevil drops out of thin air. Jen, I'm here to help, she tells him. He missed everything. Oh, man. And they flirt. Next, we see Jen driving home. Then her and her family gathered together outside the dinner where Matt is there too. They're all laughing and having a good time, where Jen's parents ask Matt about his practice. Matt talks about Hell's Kitchen and pro bono. The ladies gush over him. Jen comes to his rescue as her dad says it's very expensive to raise kids in LA. Dad, he's staying here for a week. The banter continues, blah, blah, blah. God, I just wanted this. Thank God this show will be over. Bruce walks into the party from around the corner in a Hawaiian T-shirt saying, hi, everyone. He stops everyone explaining he's been away on Sakaar. You're going to hate this, folks. If you're fans of Planet Hulk, you are going to fucking hate this. This could be bullshit, by the way. It could all be bullshit. So explaining he's been away on Sakaar for a while. So he'll tell everyone, but first he has someone to introduce my son, Scar. He's a full CGI Hulk as well. The family excitedly welcomes Scar as Daredevil says to Jen, wow, your family.
So again, off screen, all the good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Lastly, a reporter stopped She-Hulk on camera while entering court asking about her lawsuit against Todd and Intelligentsia. She talks about holding people like him responsible for their actions. The message is, if you attack, harm, or harass innocent people, I'm coming for you. Do you mean in a courtroom or as a superhero? She says both. The difficult diva of law herself. Roll credits. Mid-roll scene, Emil's in DODC, prison, and Wong lets him out. The end. We'll see if it happens. That sounds like an awful lot for a She-Hulk finale, to be honest.
That is a lot.
How are they going to put that into 23 minutes? I'm not really fucking sure. But what the hell? It was a fun read. And once again, I want to thank Oculus, the MCU exposure.
Good job.
Good job, buddy. Good job.
I mean, honestly, it sounds accurate. It sounds very bad. So
sounds extremely bad. Sounds extremely bad.
It sounds so bad it seems real. Like aspects of it seem real, and sort of finding an excuse to not have an effects-filled, finale. It's so dumb. It could be real, or parts of it. I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna wrap this up. I mean, it's already just so awful. The Daredevil thing was that was just insulting.
Well, I think Todd being from Intelligentsia, I think that's a sure thing. I think that they've already telegraphed that. So basically, I mean, the big takeaway is they made the fans the villain over the Abomination.
It's freaking Ghostbusters 2016.
It really is.
Ghostbusters 2016, which I saw in the theater on opening night with about 4 other people. I mean, the movie tanked. Whenever there's something so bad, it's like, oh, I want to see this train wreck. I want to see this train wreck play out. But the fact that they made the troll the main villain of Ghostbusters 2016, I mean, it's truly awful. The fact that so many people who are talented, who have been funny in other things, could produce something so god awful, so who
was the villain in the Batman?
You're right, a troll.
Yep.
4chan troll.
Yeah, well, I mean, you haven't seen this movie called Amsterdam, but the villain in that, it's like it draws a direct analogy to Trump and January 6th. Hollywood feels obligated to comment on all this. And it's all in their freaking heads because it's been jammed in their heads. It ties right back to why Tulsi Gabbard, fled the Democrat Party. There's a lot of anti-white stuff out there, and it's just now it's just sort of weaving its way into everything, which is good work for white actors. I got to say, playing the villain is always pretty good.
Yeah,
so that's gonna continue for a while. But it's kind of tiresome that it's in so many things that are prominent. And that movie Amsterdam, by the way, tanked miserably, as bad as Bros, and it cost a lot more than Bros.
I actually have a better one. Yes, I saw.
It's can I see a movie that doesn't comment on modern politics? Can I see one, please, as I'm at the theater?
That's all they have, man. That's all they have to draw from.
It's all they got.
That is their reality. That's their everything.
Hollywood is fucking obsessed now. And the fact that it's like in all these things is just irritating. Ghostbusters 2016 was like wait, what? This is so a troll is the main villain. You're going with that? Jesus, it was bad.
This is one of the dumbest articles I ever read because it's referencing seriously an Atlantic article by a fucking moron. I'm doing a video on this guy, by the way. I usually don't expose the morons behind an article, but this guy's got a Wikipedia page. He's all public, so we're gonna go there. Yeah. We're gonna go there with this guy. Been waiting till the end though, because this article's actually been out for like a month, but I've been waiting. But this is. I'll. By the way, I'll answer this question quickly. Nobody gives a fuck about Interview with the Vampire remake. That's why nobody's fucking. It always was gay, and it's still gay. So what?
Yeah, no. Did you watch the original movie?
Did you not? Did you read the book?
Yeah, the book. Antonio Banderas all over Brad Pitt, all over him.
Yeah. So it's whatever. Who cares? Nobody's watching it. It's on AMC. We're talking about Tolkien here. We're not, Anne Rice. All due respect, she ain't no fucking Tolkien. Okay. So stop. But we're just going to get into that in a minute. But I'm going to read while that article's up. Going to read some super chats. Vincent De Leon for $20 says, "Keep up the badass work." Guys, thank you. Gary, I dropped you an email. Having a great time getting started. Question: in Witcher, who was Team Yen and Team Triss? Appreciate all of you. Never say die. I mean, in the books, I'm Team Yennefer. If there's going to be a team, I'm usually not shipping, but Yennefer's great in the books. That's what I know about. For example, Blood of Elves, they adapted for season 2 and just fucking destroyed her. Destroyed her character so much better in the books. So 1,000 times better in the books. She's got a nice ass in the game. Matthew Hammond for $20. Clifton is the best. Is this from yesterday?
This was from yesterday. Yeah.
Why is it from yesterday?
Matthew Hammond just wanted to donate from yesterday.
Okay, that's fine. Clifton is the best. He is the diversity producer's fear. He is. We love Clifton. Was great yesterday. Clifton was on fucking fire yesterday. And we'll have him back on Friday Night Tights soon. And I hope he stays off the weed like he's trying. I think that's a good idea. Shake from Hunger Team for $20 says, "Hello, fellowship. Just wanted to ask you a question. I have been finding myself really liking Game of Thrones after the lackluster performance in 2018 season 8. Am I being overly with my praise about the show? I mean, it begins great. It begins great. It just ends like shit. Even season 5, it was going downhill, but there were still good episodes.
Yeah.
Hardholm's a fucking awesome episode. That is a brilliant episode.
I think I know what you're talking about though, Shake, though. Having the pain of season 8 and then this new season or this new show coming out, it's I did not want to like it. I was hurt. I was hurt, man. I put a lot of effort, a lot of time into that world, and whenever it burned me that bad, I was like, never again. But this show, so far it's good. It's not finished. It's not, the whole thing isn't out, so it's still trepidation, but so far it is a really good show with great actors and good characters. So,
I think if you want to work it out in your head canon, it's a fool's hope, but you can say that this is House of the Dragon is just a prequel to the books. You can just forget the show canon completely.
That's true.
You can just say House of the Dragon is a prequel to the books. Because it's already, I would say, slightly more accurate. They've tried to be slightly more accurate than Game of Thrones was, but they were both they've skipped a lot of things. They've combined a lot of things. So even with this very condensed fake history, they've had to change stuff already. a Firefly on the Streamlabs site for $300. Holy crap! I watched the Hobbit trilogy, and with all its problems, I felt like it was heaven, and it felt so good to watch after the Rings of Power. Who knew this show would make everything else better? Sometimes you need that little. I mean, it did, the Star Wars Disney trilogy did wonders for the prequels. Wonders. Wonders I didn't think was possible, and I think the very same is happening with the Hobbit, which I hate the love triangle. I hate that it was too long, but I never hated the Hobbit.
You got to watch the Hobbit cut. Somebody's taken it, cut all that stuff out, chopped it into one 3-hour long movie. That's the way to watch it, because it's exactly how all of the parts that are actually the Hobbit are great. It's all of the extra parts that were added to kind of fluff it up to make it 3 films that don't quite work. So it's still a good movie in there.
Enoch Maman on the Streamlabs side for $10 says, my message to Moist Critical is the same one I give everyone who all of a sudden just now decided to wake up and see how toxic discourse has become because of all of this identity politics bullshit. As John McClane said, welcome to the party, pal.
Yep.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it's like if it's in the audience, that's not good, because that's an audience that ain't gonna stay. Like if you have to walk on eggshells on your channel, like fuck that shit. No way.
Yeah.
I don't deal with that with like personal relationships, like with friends, wives, and nothing. No way. I put up with that shit too long when I was younger, and I don't now. Like I'm gonna be free to say what I'm gonna say. If it pisses somebody off, sorry, it's not personal. But if I have to walk on eggshells around you, no, not worth my time. The Grizzly for $20. Movie studios laughed when they tried to kill theaters with their own streaming services, only to learn that the fad was a flash in the pan. Now their streaming networks are eating each other alive, and theaters are dying as well. LOL. And I agree. You brought it on yourselves, Hollywood. It was not sustainable. It was never sustainable. Chris, you know the business way better than I do. Third-party licensing, kind of important when it comes to big franchises, big things. Third-party licensing.
It's huge. It's huge. And you know, we had, I mean, like, look at the toy sales of Star Wars. No one cares anymore. No one cares. That stuff just dies on the shelf. The stuff that it does the best is older stuff, when they do those like Black Edition, or like they're based on classic original trilogy Star Wars. Like, yeah, it's the industry is in trouble, and the problem is, and no one in Hollywood, I mean, people can hardly be honest with themselves, which is what I've always admired about you, Gary, is you're just like brutally honest. You'll share personal details of your life as it applies to a conversation. But Hollywood can't have an honest conversation with itself. And, you know, you look at like the way people talk to each other on Twitter, we're just at this weird tipping point where we're finally seeing people like a Tulsi Gabbard or Moist Critical go, hey, this is some kind of, I'm being attacked. Like, wait, what? Like, yeah, we need to be able to have honest conversations, and it's not possible.
And that's what's prevented so many people to come over, and it's fear. Okay. Moist Critical knew it was up 2 years ago. I mean, for what little I know about the guy, he's not dumb. Okay. Right. Tulsi Gabbard is not dumb. She, you know, they just, whether it's fear or politicking or whatever it is, they knew this shit was going on 2 years ago. The shit was going on 4 years ago. It's just much, much safer now. It's much safer now, thanks to people who are gone. Thanks to people like Alex Jones and Gavin McGinnis. These are people who got yeeted a long time ago. Anthony Cumia. You know, these are people who were talking about this stuff many, many years ago, and have been silenced. All right, we'll do a couple more, and then we'll get to this ridiculous article. Bradley Burnett, thank you for gifting 10 Nerdrotic memberships for $50. Thank you, Bradley. Dragon Sworn, 2 parts for $40. Says part 1, Hail Gary. I think the Celeborn armor line was supposed to be a but our last conversation was an argument, and I will never be able to rectify that. But between the piss poor delivery and worse reputation of the writers, it didn't just fall flat. It was so atrociously insulting. I didn't even think of this opinion option until today. That's maybe how it started, according to somebody who came to me at the Las Vegas event, provided receipts, and then told me that they had worked on the show. It didn't start this way. So it sounds very repurposed. I think of a line in the article that I read, video before last. Thank you for watching. That I left out of the video that I might put in my next one, where JD Payne and Patrick McKay basically say that Lindsay Weber brought it home. Like, we were developing the series. We got the good word in from JJ. She came in and brought the series home. So she came in and reworked all that fucking dialogue to make it more intersectional. Like, they had to like really, it's like it's pressing buttons. They're trying to press buttons now. And they're like, well, how can we make Galadriel look better and Celeborn look worse, even in death? Oh, she makes fun of him. She regrets it, but she makes fun of him because the idiot went into battle with misfitting armor. Celeborn. Are you fucking kidding me? And like, there's no rationalization in the world if these motherfuckers try to tell us as Tolkien fans that that's what Tolkien would have intended ever. You're full of fucking shit. You're a piece of shit liar. Period. Well, he wasn't specific about it. Oh, fuck you guys, man. I almost had sympathy for these guys. But no, they are the devil. They are the fucking devil, man. You want to talk about patently evil? That's some projection. Deeds, Minnesota, or Deeds MM. I'm just going to assume it's Minnesota for $20. Gary, dual stream on Rumble. Geeks and Gamers had a recent stream over there last night. Not close to YouTube yet, but have to start somewhere. Have QB help you out. Love from Minnesota. Hey, I guessed right. Hail Minnesota.
There you go.
All right. Change your governor. Change your government up in Minnesota. While we're telling God,
while we're suggesting things.
Yeah, while we're suggesting things. I'm sure you're working on it, Deeds. Rumble. Dual streaming on Rumble. I'm going to talk to him like when this Rings of Power Empowerment Week month fucking crunch time is over. And yeah, I'm okay. I'll be just really upfront. I don't like spreading everything out. I just don't. It makes things confusing for me. I hyper focus, and if I have to worry about too many things, it's like juggling for me, and I'll just fucking drop everything. So yeah, it's not something I really aim to do right now. I fully support Nick Rekieta and his move there, and anybody else who wants to move there as an alternative. Right now, as it stands, Rumble is. I don't think my content will get a ton of traction over there because I still cover entertainment, and there's a lot of people over there who have just black pilled entertainment completely. And which is too bad because I think it's an important part of our culture that we need to get back, and trying to convince the black pillars to come back is a little difficult. But if we don't, then we lose. We just lose.
Yeah, you're giving it up to the enemy. Like, yep. I don't know why you would do that. I love these things. You know, this is like where culture comes from. You know, is pop culture. It's how you see the world through a lot of art and things that we create. So why would you give that up to people that hate you?
Yeah, like Republicans are welcome here. Always been, always will be. You will not be shamed ever for being a Republican. Anybody's welcome here, but we want to get like the masses to preach, to get to the common sense part and just enjoy stuff again. And it is important. Like it's the activists and the straight up the Marxist activists who don't want us relaxing. That's why the no more white comfort thing is something I hyper focus on because that is a Marxist statement. They don't want you being comfortable and turning your brain off for a little while. They want you thinking about how unjust everything is 24/7. So you're angry, so you will put them in power. That's what it is. They're trying to undermine everything. Absolutely everything. So keep that in mind. I'm trying to fight for, some comfort. Some days I like, you know what? Our country is good enough. If you've worked hard enough to where you don't have to fucking watch the news and worry about fucking everything for 2 hours, 3 hours a day. It's important for your sanity. Waldo 865 for $30. This writing on She-Hulk is straight trash. It's got to be intentional that they hire the worst writers. Must help with the execs bonuses at the end of the month. I think it's just purely algorithmic when it comes to the bean counters. Like they're just looking at the bottom line, and it's people like Jessica Gao who is the activist. She is the activist injecting the fans as the villain in this show. That cannot be undersold, Chris. They made us the villains.
It's so obvious. Like, why are we even surprised? I'm always surprised because I am a maybe foolish optimist, but damn, like, God, they're gonna do the same thing they did in Ghostbusters 2016.
It's like full circle.
It's 6 years later. This is not a winning strategy. And how no one at any of the trades, not one trade, Variety, Deadline, The Reporter, none of these outlets have written an article about attacking your audience is a bad strategy. Here are examples, and there are plenty. And here is how all of those shows or films suffered.
And let's look at like even House of the Dragon, like the Access Media tried to, like, one of the actors came out at the fans and the quality of the show shut them up. They finally shut up. They're not saying anything now. They're like, oh, people are happy with our show. We don't need to do this now. And all of a sudden it's gone. All of a sudden it's fucking gone. Sonic, best example in the world. The director went, we hear you. We're making changes. We hope you like them. The single best response in the history of Hollywood, honestly.
Yeah.
And it got two sequels. So that guy needs to be praised every day.
And there's actually, so Tim Miller, he was a part of Sonic, actually. The guy that made the last Terminator movie, right?
Yeah.
So he did an interview with, what's their names? Corridor Digital. They did an interview with him. And he actually talked about that, the behind the scenes of that, whenever that all kind of came out. He saw the backlash and he was like, hey, he went to call the director and he said, hey, you need to get out there right now, which is kind of interesting because he didn't do that for Terminator. He's like, you need to get out there right now and, say sorry, basically, and start redoing the design and everything. And the director had already started doing that. He already went out there and said, sorry, we're going to redo this. So that's how good he was. He was like understanding. He didn't have to be told by the executives to try and fix this and curb. He already knew. He said, oh yeah, I see. I was focused too much on trying to make it a real world character and not try to be true to the character itself. Let me fix it. We need more of that.
Yeah.
We need more of that in Hollywood.
If we have a respecting the fan award, it should be named after him.
Yes.
Just purely for getting it, for being human, because here's the secret sauce, Hollywood. Here's the big secret you've been avoiding because of your fucking egos. All you have to do is be a little humble and listen to the fans, and they will be your biggest fans.
Yeah.
Because that's what they are. Your biggest fans. They will support you. And you know what? Like after he said that, what did every critic say? I don't know if the movie's going to be great or not, but I'm going to give it a chance.
Mm-hmm. I watched it. I was not going to watch it, but I watched it.
People who weren't going to watch it started watching it, and like, it's really that simple. A little kindness goes a long way. And it's
some
not
humility.
Fault. Yeah. Like the paying customer is your boss.
Yep.
You are accountable to them in modern society. If you want to be on social media, you are accountable. Now, if you want to like be one of those, like I would suggest every actor in the world do this, get off the grid and just let your role speak for yourself, you know, and sure, like hire somebody to run your Twitter to talk about your roles and like, oh, I'm going to be doing this role. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of dummies, but they're a bunch of dummies. That's the problem, you know, adult pretenders, except for Anthony Hopkins. Guy's a legend. Guy's a fucking legend. And he's sober too. I love about that guy. All right, I'm going to read a little of this article. Okay. Because
let's go.
We got to mix in the good with the bad. Why outrage targeted diversity in Rings of the Power, but not Interview with a Vampire? I love that Kelly from USA Today is asking this question unironically. There is a black man playing a vampire, and that's fine. Yes.
Yeah.
Black men have played vampires for many, many years.
Did you ever hear the movie Blade?
Yeah.
Before that, Blackula.
Before that.
But if someone black is an elf or a lord of Westeros or a stormtrooper, oh, see, now you're just dumb. See, and this is the other problem.
Stormtrooper, get out of here.
We got a bunch of wine mom fucking normies, woke white women. Shout out to Yellow Flash. Woke white women like conflating all this shit. Nobody cared. We liked the black stormtrooper.
It was Disney that messed it up.
Yeah, they didn't like him. We did.
Yeah, I was like, man, Black Stormtrooper. I can't wait to see what his story is. Could he possibly be force sensitive? Who knows? Oh no, he's just a clown.
No, janitor.
Thanks, Disney. He's a janitor clown.
He's a janitor. Why does no one? I fucking hated The Force Awakens. By the way, why did no one call out like? So he's a janitor. He works in sanitation.
Yep. The black man.
Oh
my
God.
First prominent starring, well, it's not really true because Billy D. Williams is a fucking legend. But that's what you did. That's called I think it's called racist. If by their I'm going by their rules, by the way. I can't go into it now. I'll go into it next Nooner. Remind me, Chris and everybody else. I was daydreaming because I do that in the gym. I'll like fade out while I'm running on the treadmill or whatever. And I thought of the best ending for Han Solo to go out like a man. And I was like, what started the thought was, there's some reality out there where John Williams has something on like there was a good Star Wars trilogy and John Williams did the soundtrack. And there's one piece called The Last Flight of the Millennium Falcon, which would have been just fucking epic. Like him going out trying to save his son. Something like that. But I go over the whole thing. I full on went in the full daydream mode on this thing. And I'm like, oh shit, that would have been awesome.
What could have been?
What could have been? But unfortunately, we're in this timeline. So sorry. At least we have each other. But okay, black is an elf or a lord of Westeros or stormtrooper. There is a loud vocal minority that has a problem with that. Racist backlash is a virtual guarantee when Hollywood casts an actor of color in a role traditionally thought of as white, especially in fantasy and science fiction films and series. Before we get into her ignorance, I will tell you that after this live stream, go over to Eric July's channel, the great Eric July, creator of ISOM, and search out his video where he talks about tokenization. And he lays it out perfectly. Essentially, you're putting all the legitimacy into the white male characters, and you're giving the people of color, those marginalized people, their language, not mine. Little hand-me-downs going, look, we're the good people. We're going to take something away that's legitimate in our eyes and give it to you because you're not legitimate enough. That's essentially what it is. So go watch his video. It's fantastic. This fall alone has been abuse spewed at Amazon, The Lord of the Rings of Power, which adds actors of many ethnicities to J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth and HBO's Game of Thrones spinoff House of the Dragon. Are we hearing anything about that anymore?
No.
The actor playing by the way, there is an in-world way they can explain Corlys Velaryon. There is. Whether they do or not, I don't know. But George has left that door open. George's world is like Tolkien's world. There's regions because it's based on an ancient world where people weren't traveling and mixing a whole bunch, but they did a little bit. The ones who had enough money in the ships and stuff and the conquerors. And people looked a certain way from a certain region. That's it. That's all. And that adds reality. That gives it a verisimilitude. As a matter of fact, I've got a great clip from Tom Shippey that explains this that will go in my next video. It's been in my videos before, but I'll reuse it. It's been about 6 months. House of the Dragon, which recasts a noble family of Westeros as black. Even the trailer, and don't you like one of the reasons House of the Dragon works, guys, is even the characters that were race and gender swap, they're not treated with kid gloves like they are in everything else. We just saw one of them get like the top of his head cut off.
Well, and they killed a gay character.
Very
brutally. Yeah.
And people got mad about it. It's like, just treat them like you would any other character. That's what you should be wanting, is equality.
And what did HBO do? Completely ignored the criticism.
Yes.
Didn't say a word about it. And that's what have I always said? You don't have to listen to us. Just don't listen to them. That's all I ask. Even the trailer for Disney's remake, The Little Mermaid, with a black singer, Hailey Bailey, as the new Ariel, generated absurd outrage. With black singer, this woman just referred to Hailey Bailey as black singer,
not an artist, not a singer, a black, very specific black singer.
No, she says not even a black singer. She says
just black
singer.
Just black.
Oh God. Wow. Oh, I apologize. Kelly's racist. Generated absurd outrage as well as joy. Is it absurd outrage? Now, my wife watched this. I wouldn't be caught dead watching this. So I watched the movie and I wanted to go pick out drapes afterwards. So I'm like, I'm not going to watch thought the movie was fine. But like, no, I'm not going to, I don't care. I just don't care. But another classic fantasy property this year changed the race of some of its primary characters and who weren't historic op-eds or avalanche of hateful tweets. In fact, fans seemed quite pleased. The show was AMC's thoughtful remake of Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire, starring a black man, Jacob Anderson, who was in Game of Thrones, and his suave vampire, Luis played by Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise. A drastic departure from the source material. Interview changes Luis's backstory to account for the change of race, and makes the queer subtext of the book and original film very much text. It is a story that is often defined by the race and sexuality of the lead character. Just want to remind everyone, Anne Rice converted to Christianity, right?
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she did later on in life. Somehow the outrage machine missed Interview. Yeah, it couldn't be because nobody gave a fuck. It's like nobody's all right.
Nobody is watching.
Yeah, like it might be like, and again, it's Interview with the Vampire. Like, who gives a shit? With likely a smaller audience, so they're all likely. They mention it might be because the series is available on AMC and its streaming service AMC Plus, which is likely a smaller audience than the likes of Rings and Dragon. It could be because Vampire in franchise primarily aimed at a female audience rather than belligerent male fans of other properties. So it's men. It's men.
Those damn males.
Belligerent male fans. I will tell you that I see more criticism from women on anything I've ever covered on this channel over Lord of the Rings than anything. I see way more women because plenty of women read Tolkien. Plenty. I would say the only thing close was Doctor Who, right? but that's bullshit. So she probably did some Google searches for research. My favorite part of the article is this. It could be, as Adam Serwer argued in The Atlantic, which is the Fear of the Black Hobbit article, that these so-called fans get swept up in right-wing culture resentment about franchises from their childhoods because of their inability to grow up. What do you think about that, Chris? Chris?
Oh, BRB. You said
BRB, okay. What do you think about this, Garrett?
It's the typical man baby argument. There's not an actual argument there. It's just anybody that doesn't like these changes, they're a man baby and they haven't grown up. That's what it is. There couldn't possibly be any other reasoning. You know how many people that I know that are successful men from the military, men and women that have businesses that love these things? Tons. It's not people that are infants, that losers that have never moved out of their house, like their parents' house. This is not that. These are people just like you and me, any person out there. They love these franchises, and whenever they get changed, they have a problem with it. Mm-hmm. But like this, like just then with the Black Stormtrooper, they say this and it's just fact now, because then she says this and somebody reads this and they make an article off of that, and now it's just fact.
Okay, she links to it. Let's see what that link is. Oh, you know what
Is this another article?
Guess what it links to? One of their
her own article.
Ewan McGregor addresses racist comments to Obi-Wan Star Moses Ingram. Has nothing to do with Stormtrooper. So it's
nothing to do with it.
No, it's they are the ones gaslighting. They are the ones perpetuating this, and I don't want to read this whole.
I think it's so deep that they're gaslighting themselves. So I'm sure there's tons of writers writing articles that are gaslit into believing that there was a giant backlash against Finn when there never was.
Well, here listen to this. This is all part of it, but there is something more. Interview takes place in the real world.
What?
Okay.
No, it doesn't.
There's vampires? What?
This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
Or close enough to it with the vampires and all, in which the existence of people of color is impossible to deny.
Okay.
Nobody's denying it. Angry commenters who don't want non-white actors in Middle-earth or Westeros often fall back on arguments like historical accuracy. Please tell us where we said we don't want actors of color, as you call them, in anything. We said there is a place for them. The authors accounted for it. That makes logical sense, that you can make them stars. You could make them a focal point. But for example, the Rings of Power, the Southrons, the people from Harad, they could have absolutely and should have absolutely made all of them brown skinned, because that was the region, Mediterranean, whatever you want. Yeah, but they chose not to, because that they would be considered bad, or at least half of them.
No, they wanted to make it the American South, because they wanted Proud Boys and tiki torches.
They did put a little bit, but not much of diversity when they could have gone full on, and they chose not to. So they're full of shit. Nobody said even with Numenor, if they had made Numenor correctly, right, which had multiple colonies. By the way, they mentioned there's a colony towards the end of the last episode, and I went, what? So there is a colony. There's an abandoned colony that they could have all lived in, but they fought to save their little shitty town, which makes no sense. So they talk about Middle-earth and Westeros often fall back on arguments of historical accuracy. Well, in the case of Tolkien, he was making a story for England. He was a mythology for England, or world building, suggesting that the original authors Tolkien and George R. R. Martin never imagined a world with the different races. That's like you're a fucking idiot. Why are you even writing on this? You don't even know what the fuck you're fucking talking about. I would even argue George would go, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like George R. R. Martin's fans, we've read the books. There is tons of diversity in A Song of Ice and Fire. And it doesn't feel like it's forced or anything. When the world is totally made up, closed-minded fans choose not to see anyone in it who doesn't look like them. What a cunt.
What an absolute.
My wife hates it when I say that word, but man, this one deserves it. So we'll get more to her in the next video, but that's just, I mean, there's another article that says essentially the same thing. So we're just falling back on it's racism now, and we got an episode to go. By the way, it's not going to save the show. It's boring, and Halbrand is Sauron, and that's all you're waiting for. Oh, and the stranger is not Sauron, but doesn't get a name. Did you see the latest picture, the promo picture that they put up? Oh my God. It is bad.
Is it like a shampoo commercial?
No.
Can it be that bad?
European lore says it best. I just retweeted him. So
why does the leg have to show?
What is up with that?
They did that with Disa, and they're doing it like with all of them.
With all of them. Why? Even the stranger's leg is showing. Wow.
Chicka slim lady.
I don't know.
This doesn't excite me. It should excite me.
No, I'm just so void of interest. Nothing has happened in the show, man. It's just
I'm glad she's got armor just around her torso. I would never think to like stab her in the leg or anything, especially where her leg is sticking out of her silk garment. Good God. So yeah, European lore just says Brazers or whatever the freaking porno thing is called.
Are they ever going to explain how the homeless guy came to, Middle Earth in a meteor, like naked? Like what was that? What was the point of that?
Sent down by the gods, by the Valar.
Okay.
Because he's a wizard. Instead of having him show up on a boat,
right,
from the Undying Lands, they just send him down in a meteor. Apparently, they can do like an Amazon delivery of wizards in Middle Earth.
Stay shipping.
Stay shipping.
I got Prime.
Got Prime. Waldo for $50 says, Gary, you're doing a review or even bothering watching the Jodie Whittaker Doctor episode coming up later this month. I don't recognize the show anymore. I can't start watching a new show. No time. Haha. Oh, of course. I wouldn't miss Jodie's last episode for the world. So we will be live. Az and I will be live after it airs in the UK. It's a 90-minute episode, so that's going to be fucking brutal. Oh, oof.
Did you hear that Jodie Whittaker is going to be at Gallifrey 1?
Oh, I did not hear that.
Yeah, well, now they can't sell it out.
No,
it used to be that thing would sell out within hours of tickets going on sale,
yep.
And I would rush to get tickets. Now, just there are plenty of available tickets.
Are you going to go? It's in February.
It's at the Los Angeles Airport Marriott, which is close to my house. So I'm going to say no. Here's what I might do. Here's what I would do at Gallifrey 1. If I couldn't get a ticket, what I would do is just go to the lobby, because that's where everybody hangs out, right? So it's like you couldn't get into where the panels or the merch was being sold, but you could just hang out in the lobby, go to the hotel restaurants and bars. So it was like a fun, we called it LobbyCon. Whenever we couldn't get tickets to Gallifrey 1, it's like, well, let's just hang in the lobby. And invariably, I'd know someone who would let me borrow their badge and I'd sneak in. But yeah, if I do anything, I'll just go to the lobby. There's no way I'm buying a ticket.
It's in February, right?
Yes.
Okay. I might go because Chrissy's going to be in San Diego in February.
Oh.
So if it's around the same
nice.
time, we can go see Chrissy and then go to just hang out in LA. I'll be going to San Diego again in I think November. So I'll come up and see you.
Let me know, man.
I got to visit my mom
at LobbyCon.
No, but yeah, I'll go. I almost went 3 years ago. God, it's been 3 years. No, it was COVID canceled it, so it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
COVID canceled it. I almost went to that one just to kind of troll. It's like the same way I went to the Star Trek convention. I got people were really nice the first couple of Star Trek conventions. The last one I went to, that's when I got the most dirty looks because I was wearing a I Stand with Vic T-shirt the whole time I was there.
Oh man.
So I was getting dirty looks. That was good. And I got yelled at by the but it wasn't for the shirt. I was with the Popcat. No, I wasn't with the Popcast. I was with
it was
Salty Nerd.
Salty Nerds.
Check out the Salty Nerd, Matthew Kadish. Good guys. And we had our mask down for too long, and the guy came and fucking yelled at us.
They're very annoying there with their security, like at that creation event. I never liked them. They put these people in charge, and they were such jerks for no reason. You go to other cons, people are chill, or they're like, hey, I got to go get my badge, whatever. But like that con, for some reason, hires the biggest assholes to run security. I don't know why. So, yeah. I've had bad. I won't go. I went to the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. I'm done. I went to the 50th, and it's over for me.
Yep. You know? What a weak 50th too. Compare that to Doctor Who's 50th, which was epic. It was fucking epic. Like everything about it was great. So yes, I will be covering we're doing a video. Perry is already called dibs to edit it. So we got big plans. Sweet. So yeah. October is we don't get any breaks. We'll get a break when we go to Florida, and then I'll probably still be doing videos from there.
Yeah, that's true.
Roland. Oh, I gotta find out where you're staying, Garrett. We should probably we should probably stay close to each other.
Yeah, I haven't picked a spot, so
we haven't either. So we'll talk.
Yeah.
Not doing a content house though. No.
I'll visit.
Too many houses.
I'm not gonna sleep there.
The dry house.
Where are you staying, X-Ray girl? Are you staying at the Geeks and Gamers house or no?
No. No. I'm too old for that.
Okay.
Yeah. If I was just myself, I would maybe, but like Mark and I just want to. Yeah.
Chris, you should make it out, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
I just I want to, but yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. It'd have to be like a last minute. All right, I'm just going.
Mm-hmm. I'm freaking flying. Ugh.
Yeah. Flying is I'm flying tomorrow out to Tucson for the Tucson Film Festival. My movie plays on Saturday.
Dude.
Oh hell yeah.
Tickets.
If it wasn't the fucking finale of Rings of Power,
I'd drive over there.
Yeah,
it's a very different movie than what you saw. We restructured the third act. We sort of took, a lot of comments that people were saying at the after party. Thank you for that. Like that was incredibly helpful, and it feels like a real movie. And I can't wait for you to see the finished version.
I can't wait to see it either.
Yeah,
Attack of the Dock and the Black. Wow, it's gonna be so.
It was great.
Yeah, right after they announced G4's going out of business, your Attack of the Dock can come out.
No, that's the thing. I was like, we're wondering like, what's the timing? When do we put out the Blu-ray? We're trying to figure out when to put the Blu-ray and the digital release out. So it's like, do we put it out before the end of the year, or do we kind of like wait until like next year? So those kind of details.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's done. We're actually working on the Blu-ray right now. So
awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Rolando Ramirez for $50 says anime is going strong right now. Last Arc of Bleach, 1,000 Year of Blood War, and Chainsaw Man started strong this week. Hope the people are that are passionate about American media can rise to make them compete with the rest of the world. Hail! Oh, they will. I mean, because anime and manga has captured the comic book generation. Basically, you've done it. And to the like in gamers, So yeah, you'll be fine. Comic books, not so much. No, Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Batman will eventually go the way of Zorro, Buck Rogers, 40 years down the road. They'll be like remembered, but they'll be like this old-timey thing,
Yep. There'll be a Razor Fist talking about it, like the back in the day.
Back in the day, there was Pulp. By the way, check out his Pulp videos. They're fucking awesome.
They're fucking amazing.
Damakazi for $25. I don't know if you've seen the videos, but a small channel called Eric the Cameraman stumbled into my algorithm. He does non-hyperbolic criticism of Rings of Power cinematography and how bad it is. We're checking out. Oh, I'd love to see that. Is he like a cinematographer giving us a breakdown of like how they suck?
That'd be great.
I love that. Matthew Hammond for $40 on the Streamlabs side. Sorry. No, not sorry. I'm sorry. He didn't say sorry. Has bad woke TV and movies caused us to accept and praise subpar TV and movies that have been average in the 90s and 2000s, but are considered great in 2022? Also, watch Film Threat on Wednesday and Friday. Chris and Alan are amazing. We love Chris and Alan.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
No, I mean, like stuff was better. Just like I used to say this in jest, but like we're the first generation to say that we're the first generation to accurately say our music was better than yours. Because everybody says it. But I mean, it's a fact now. It's just a fact. And films and television were better 7 years ago. They were better 7 years ago, 6 years ago. We're still getting some good stuff. It's not like we're not getting good stuff, but the vast majority is crap. Because it's watered down partially and it's woke.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was watching Back to the Future and then I was like, oh, the graphics on this look so good. And my chat's like, that's not graphics. That's special effects. And I'm like,
those are special effects.
That's it, girl.
Yep.
You're only partial bimbo. I mean, like just when it comes to
I don't think you're that one.
I don't think you're full bimbo.
I'll complete my transformation one day.
Yeah.
I'll be a butter bimbo.
Butter bimbo. No, that's Melanie Mac. No, she's not a bimbo. Just kidding. She likes butter.
I'll be the best of both Melanie Mac and Brittany Venti. There we go.
I don't want to blow their cover, but they're both like really smart ladies. They're not bimbos at all. But oh well. Sorry, ruined you. Part one. My father-in-law took my wife. What? My father-in-law took my wife and I. Oh, I was like, what?
Yeah.
My wife and I to Star Wars Hotel Galaxy's Edge as a wedding present. When he went to make our lightsabers, the kids were asked if they knew the old Jedi Master hero. All the kids yelled in response, Luke. The lightsaber crafter then asked if they knew the Jedi. If they asked who the new Jedi Master hero is, and nobody said a damn word. Better myself. It was poetic, like it rhymes. Hail! Oh, that's awesome. That is beautiful. Awesome. Kids, they're the future. I'm told. Rob Oliver for 20 Martian pesos says, just to thank you for all the company every week. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us. We thank you. We thank you. Rob, appreciate it. Scott McKenzie has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Thank you very much. Woo! Thank you. All right, we got to do a couple more, and then we got to let Chris go and me go. So I can get to. I'm gonna prep the She-Hulk and Rings of Power review now. I've already got beginnings to. We just need to see the episodes. So
just gotta wait for the
it
episode.
Might change the beginning a little bit, but I highly doubt it, considering now that we know what happens in both episodes. That's true. Life a lot. Goose Girl for $9.99 says, Chris, have you seen Amsterdam? And if so, how do you rate it on a scale of 1 to Neil Breen?
Well, it's definitely below a Neil Breen. I mean, it's so bad because I like the director David O. Russell. I mean, but Christian, it's like the 3 lead actors are acting in 3 completely different movies. Christian Bale, like True in the Scenery. John David Washington is terrible. He just acts like he's in the present day, and it's set in the 1930s. And Margot Robbie's just, what the hell is she doing? And then I told you earlier, like, it's this lecturing speech that draws a direct connection to Trump and January 6th, and it's Hollywood can't help itself. Everything's got to be a comment on Trump and white supremacy, and it's just like, God, can you just tell a story, an engaging story? And apparently it's based on a real historical event, but it's really on the nose. It's terrible. It's freaking terrible. It deserved to fail at the box office. And I like that we're seeing movies that, like, we're not seeing a movie that, like, that movie was terrible, why is this making a lot of money? But now we're seeing movies that really deserve to fail. And the reasons for it, bros, I think that's significant. It tells you that the audience is smaller than they've estimated it to be. And if the so-called woke crowd or the pride crowd went to see it, it would have been a hit. They didn't want to see it. Okay. So it just tells me these are small indie movies that have, like, small indie film audience that they're trying to push mainstream. And Amsterdam fits in with that, and it's awful. And I don't know. It's just, look, I go to the movies every week, at least to see 2-3 films a week. And man, this is the dark times. We're going to look back on this era of film and television and go, why did we let these people up and coming? Why did we let them do whatever the hell they wanted? And why did we let, like, people that are just minor talents, why did they have so much power? It's infuriating.
We just lose Gary?
Yeah, I think we lost Gary, but
I'm back.
He's back. Wait, what happened?
Yeah, it's one little button on my mouse. It's like
I'm ranting.
Boomer.
I don't.
I was going to try to get Eric. Eric said something. He said DOA, but no.
Yeah, I don't blame you for leaving when I'm ranting, but I'm telling you, it's I just think we're going to look back on this and go, what were we thinking? And the thing is this, I don't blame the kids that are coming up, right? That are being, elevated into positions they're not qualified for. I blame all of the people in leadership. It's weak leadership at all these entertainment companies, at the comic book companies, at the TV studios and the streamers. Weak leadership. So, and you get someone like this guy at Warner Brothers, right? Zaslav, whatever. He's making calls that are like, hey, I'd like to make a profitable company. This stuff isn't making money. So,
Lady Gravemaster sent me. She did a video on it, so go check it out. Lady Gravemaster is awesome, by the way. She sent me an article, Stage 13, which was like their basically where they farmed all their woke shit, got shut down. And they're shutting down another basically woke farming where they train producers and executive producers. One of them was trained. One of them was Regina King, who's directing now. And the other one was an executive producer on the Rings of Power. They're shutting that down too. So yeah, shit's starting to get shut down. That's part of it. So go check out Lady Gravemaster is the name of the channel. Go check out the video, please.
Maybe they're waking up, maybe they're figuring it out. They're like, hey, this isn't making money like we thought it was going to. All the bean counters, there's less beans to count.
Right.
Like WB, they just fired a bunch of people in their TV group.
Yep. That was huge
It's
yesterday at Warner Brothers. Yeah.
82 people got laid off.
And they're
like it's going through the whole city.
DC Comics is next, baby.
Yep. Yep. They're on the chopping block. I mean, they got moved. It's like Office Space whenever they kept moving Milton from office down to the basement. That's what they're doing with DC Comics.
The place down if they move me again.
We just fixed the glitch.
Hey guys, I'm working on my own space opera book, but I need a lot of help with it before I could sell it. Would any of you be willing to look at my work and send me to someone else who could? Maester Mike for $20. I would say when Shad is done with his stuff, talk to Shad if you have time to wait. Or there are people who will look at, but they charge, but they're worth it. Like Script Doctor will look at your stuff, but he charges a fee. But that would be he's a script doctor. Like he knows what he's talking about. So probably be worth the money to talk to Script Doctor. And I'm sure he could work something out for you. But that sounds awesome, man. Do your space opera. We need good space operas. I love space operas, man. Fucking Serenity. That's a space opera. It's good. Mark Wilkins for $10. There is so much politics infesting entertainment these days and so much backlash. The Canadians are about ready to vote Donald Trump in as prime minister. It's about time. I think you should. Do you have do you have a populist up there?
What's a populist?
A popular, well, somebody who that's a bad term to some people. It's not to me. It's basically a politician who's fucking popular, who's got a little gravitas, maybe a cult of personality around him.
I mean, it used to be Justin.
But also more like working class, blue collar, like for the people.
It used to be. I used to really, really like Ford, our premier, but then a lot of his new policies are just you can tell I'm not a fan of him, to say the least, and he's just throwing money at people that he thinks is going to get their votes.
Isn't there some lady who was on the right wing side who was calling Justin Trudeau to task? She was like who was that? Come on, Canadians, help me out.
I don't know.
Cocaine Ford? I don't know. Is he?
Not that one. The other one. The cocaine. May he rest in peace. He was a bit of a joke, but I think his heart was in the right place for the most part.
I think X-Ray Girl for prime minister. Yeah, I vote for that.
Oh no. You guys would actually have to know my name. I couldn't run as X-Ray Girl.
Yeah, you can.
It's a persona.
It's the 21st century. You don't need it. Like you can.
I identify as X-Ray Girl. You
can run on screen names now pretty soon. Yeah, there'll be a day where we got like Jedi fan 1995 as president. It'll happen.
I mean, we got Trump as a president. That was crazy.
Well, he's
I cannot believe that
was the first one memed into office.
And he's actually really good.
Yeah.
I want to just run away from the country sometimes, but
Battlestar Galactica, both versions, space opera, both versions, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You're right, Gary. God, that original Battlestar Galactica, I saw in the theater the 2-hour pilot episode where they cut Baltar's head off. They actually killed Baltar in that.
Yeah, they do.
It was in theater in Sensurround. Do you remember Sensurround?
I do. I watched it in the theaters, and I have the laser disc of that.
That's great.
I do.
Yeah.
That's a great example of race and gender swap characters that people still loved.
Yeah.
Because they were good characters. Because they were still good writers.
Yeah. I agree.
Hail panel, indie filmmaker here. We're out here cooking up competition. If you're into indie horror from filmmakers who love the genre and the culture, we're here. DJ Remark for $10. Good. And remain here and keep it that's horror is the one thing you can do low budget and have tons of fun with, and it can succeed. And it's always kind of fun.
Paranormal Activity, one of the best horror movies.
The last thing to kind of creep me out, and you know why it kind of creeped me out, is because I was at I think it was Paranormal Activity 2. I don't think it was the first one. I was at Technicolor working on so it's all like footage from a security camera.
Yeah.
And right next to where I'm working on it is a bank of security cameras.
No.
And are you alone?
Right. So I'm alone, and it's in the middle of the night.
No.
That could be rough.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh no.
It was a little creepy. I go to the bathroom a ball. It's me and the security guard there, who's usually asleep, that I have to wake up so he can pat me down so I can take a piss, because they used to pat me down to go take a piss.
Wow.
Because I was right next to the vault. Yeah. Well, I had access to everything, Chris. Like everything they on their drive, I had access to. I had like the highest security clearance for Technicolor.
Wow.
Yeah. They totally didn't look into that whole ex-felon thing at all.
Paranormal Activity, I love that series because it's so lo-fi, low budget.
Yeah.
But originally, when it was bought, that movie played at Slam Dance. DreamWorks bought the rights to it and sat on it for a long time. They wanted to remake it with celebrities and known actors. And finally, the rights switched to Paramount. And they're like, look, we're just going to release it as is, as a small indie movie.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't work. otherwise.
It wouldn't have worked with Stars. It's so like, and now it's become a phenomenon. There's like what 5 sequels? I think I bought a bundle.
Man, there were so many of them.
Yeah,
It was a huge phenomenon. I remember working the theater at that time. It was just like every single year there was a new one.
Yeah, it was
great.
Droves came to this one.
Great idea, and that shows you how dumb studios are too. They're just dumb. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Chris, you got a stream coming up, don't you?
I do at 1 p.m. Pacific time. About 38 minutes from now. In between that, I'm going to eat a sandwich. I'm doing the Film Threat livecast. We're going to talk about a bunch of indie movies, including one I think you would like called Some Like It Rare. It's a horror film about a butcher shop where they kill humans, because vegans' meat tastes good, and they start selling it out of their butcher shop.
Oh,
fun little indie movie that is being distributed by the Alamo Drafthouse. We're going to talk about that and a whole bunch of other stuff. Of course, I'm sure She-Hulk and House of the Dragon, Rings of Power will come up as they always do. So come by Film Threat, and thank you, Gary. Is always a blast to hang out with you and Garrett and X-Ray Girl. I can't.
It's Ure.
I can't say it. But I feel bad because last week on FNT, I think I made a really vile joke. And all I did was, for a second, I looked at X-Ray Girl's face. She didn't change her disgusted look for like 3 full minutes.
Oh, really?
I don't want to.
Oh, no.
I remember.
Oh, okay, good. You remember the joke there. I was just like,
I don't.
The Legion memers have a catalog of X-Ray Girl reaction. So
like, it's just a bunch of like.
Yeah, no, it was like, I was like, oh, well, at least she reacted appropriately. But yeah. But thanks again for having me on. Yes.
Last night I was watching you on Tuesday night's main event, and you mentioned Repo, the genetic opera.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I haven't thought about that in years. Love that movie. Oh,
yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, that movie is freaking, it's like a head trip, man. Like Rocky
well,
Horror.
it's like a modern Rocky Horror as far as
it is.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Repo was awesome. I loved Repo.
Yeah.
Good. 2009.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the before times.
The before times.
When no one gave a fuck, and you could just make entertainment. You could take risks and not worry about, being shamed on social media for having wrong think. I'm sick of that shit. So over it. I think a lot of people are just done with it. Finish that Tulsi Gabbard interview on Rogan. They talk about woke culture and just like how corporations have just embraced it and just how terrible everything is. Her and Rogan, that's a great part of the conversation. All the conversation about nuclear war, though, was very depressing.
Very depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right.
Repo Man, great movie. Repo Genetic Opera, fun movie, good music. It's got some good music.
I think they came out the same year. Didn't they?
No, Repo Man came out in the 80s. That was like
I'm thinking of the other Repo. Well, they made another one with
Yeah.
that pretty boy.
Oh God, they did. Jude Law, right?
Jude Law. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds awful.
I think it came out the same year, and people were confused about it.
Yeah. Okay. Cord Black, what do you got going on?
Yo, tonight, Adam Krigler and the whole Based AF crew are coming onto my channel. We're going to be talking about The Last Dragon. Barry Gordy's fantastic film. I think his only film, produced film. It's about a black man that just wants to be an Asian man. And we're going to talk about it. It's going to be fun. So that's what I got tonight. And then, as always, Friday Night Tights on Friday. I don't got to tell you guys. You guys know what's up. And then on Sunday, some more Faz with Az. It's going to be fun. There's going to be more screaming. And we're going to slightly know what we're doing. We went through the tutorials, okay? We went through the tutorials. We figured out how to play the game. It's still going to be very scary, though.
Like in-game chat, kind of important.
Yeah, I'm just actually happy that I'm not playing with you guys because it's fun watching you guys struggle.
It's so scary.
Because I have played it.
It's so scary. I didn't expect it to be so scary. I was like, I've heard it. It was a scary game, but didn't expect it to be that scary.
What a bunch of pussies. Oh my God. I know X-Ray Girl will be that scared from it.
No, I was completely scared of it when I played it. You should watch when I play Outlast. Oh my god, I hate that game because you don't have a gun. So you just have to hide under things or in lockers. And I love being in the locker. It's a great place.
Safe.
It's very safe. I cried. Well, sometimes they open the locker, but
Oh,
better than
Gary.
being out in the open.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. There's a 1 minute teaser for the She-Hulk finale just dropped on Marvel.
Oh, we gotta watch this.
It's called Intelligentsia. It's 1 minute teaser.
It's on the Marvel site.
Yeah, YouTube Marvel Entertainment Channel. Dropped 25 minutes ago. It's titled Intelligentsia.
1 day ago, 2 hours ago. This is oh no, I'm sorry. That was Critical Drinkers videos, the third thing that comes up and says this is rock bottom She-Hulk. I searched Marvel She-Hulk and Drinker comes up third. That is
I typed in She-Hulk and Drinkers first too, yeah.
Oh my
so good.
god.
Did you find it? I can
hang on.
Here it is. I got it.
I got it. You got it? You got it?
You got it? I got it.
I got it. I got it.
We're gonna watch it. We have to.
We gotta watch it. I gotta unclick that. Gonna go to Marvel.
Download this.
All right. Yeah, dude, like get this clip. We're like anything we can get ahead of time to because I gotta go on EFAP on Saturday to talk about Rings of Power too.
Yes.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
What is that?
Hear anything? What's that?
Why is this way?
What the fuck was that? I want to jump out the window again. You get that clip ready, by the way, because I have the best intro for that. Well, we're gonna follow it up with the Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Sounded like a bird dying. Sorry.
What the hell?
Wait, I don't hear anything.
Oh no, I'm not hearing it.
You're not hearing it?
No.
Yeah.
How are you not hearing it?
No audio. No audio. It's not coming out for us, I guess.
Oh.
That's weird.
Please hold.
So you didn't hear that fucking bird?
No, I just heard like.
Oh fuck, that was bad. Okay, now I'm gonna make you listen to it again. Hang on.
I got it.
You got it?
I'm scared.
No, just a sparkling water and a turkey sandwich and chips and guac. And yes, I want to see the rest of
my
those baby pictures,
God.
Elaine. Thank you. Oh my god.
Ah!
What do you got for me? So finding the identity of these guys has been like one dead end after another. We know that Hulk King is the admin on Intelligentsia, but the site security is annoyingly airtight.
I've been looking into the platform, and it is owned
That's
by
a
several
Pepe.
shell companies that are operating outside of U.S. jurisdiction, which is like, how am I supposed to sue these guys if I don't know who they are?
Okay, look, Intelligentsia is made up of exclusively dumb dudes. One of these guys is going to slip up, and they're going to give us enough information so that we can track them down, and then we will find them. And we will
Is this
destroy them.
rewriting Ripley?
By any and all means.
Legally.
I said by any and all means.
No, I am going to sue them for defamation and invasion of privacy and get them charged with unauthorized access to a protected computer.
Ugh, boring. All right, if you want to be on Jen Walters about it. Yeah, that's cool.
Oh wow.
So the spoilers are kind of right then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so a Pepe
What do you
meme
got
though.
for me?
That was yeah.
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah, come
Yeah.
on, that's Pepe.
Totally Pepe inspired.
I'm screen capping that right now. I'm gonna send it to Mahler because he likes to use those Pepe.
Yeah.
This is for you, buddy. This is for you. There, I'm saving that. Okay.
Okay. She okay.
Okay. I gotta read those cards and everything. We gotta read all.
Yeah,
of them.
I'm reading them right now. I'm trying to figure out. I'm sure there's all kinds
I'm
of
so
garbage in there.
bored. Oh my god.
Wow. Whatever she fucking said at the beginning there, though, that really made my brain hurt like a lot.
No, just a sparkling water and a turkey sandwich and chips and guac. And yes, I want to see the rest of those baby pictures, Elaine. Thank you.
Well,
It's
I've
such
decided
Kill me.
that She-Hulk is like a girl's diary where you don't want to read it because it's that boring. It's not interesting to anyone except the person writing it.
Yeah, a girl's diary. An uninteresting person on Adderall writing a diary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right. Hey, thanks, everybody. We'll catch you next Wednesday, next hump day with Chris. And, X-Ray Girl, what do you got coming up?
I'm going to be playing Cyberpunk later. And then I think I'm going to watch Exorcist with chat if chat wants to hang out. I have not seen Exorcist before, so this.
What? Oh,
I know.
Enjoy.
That's great. Okay. Thank you for becoming a member, Buck Jackson. Thank you for becoming a member. Thanks for everyone. Thanks to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who left super chat and donation. The square ups being slowly worked on in between recording videos. Should be out soon, this weekend at the latest. And thank you to everyone who participated. You are all great. Hail to the fellowship. You are absolutely winning. This is it's kind of glorious watching all this. Yeah, we did lose all of our franchises. Sorry about that. But it's not your fault. Although they said it was. But every single fucking time they try to blame you, I will be here for your response. And I've got one coming up soon. So take care, everyone. And go over to Film Threat in like a half an hour after Chris has the sandwich and watch him there. Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Later.
Bye.